What's up? Victor and Lachlan from unclenched.com with another episode of Maximum Loot. What episode is it now?
4 for 4.
4 for 4. We've never been so committed to anything in our lives.
I don't think we've ever been so, continuous with anything. We've actually managed to do an episode once a week for 4 weeks.
And it's all because of you, because you're giving us good feedback, you're asking us questions. It makes us feel good.
And it makes it so much easier.
Absolutely. This episode of the Maximum Loot podcast is sponsored by getgaming.net.au. More about them later. Thank you very much.
Yay.
Yo. Man, we're rocking the Unclenched merch today.
Unclenched logo and everything.
Well,
there we go.
we've already got 1,000 t-shirts each, but finally got a Maximum Loot podcast t-shirt.
I actually do like it. That's the first time I've seen it on a t-shirt.
Yeah, it's pretty good, but it's black and I shed a lot of skin, so really anyway. And you've got the baseball tee on, which actually looks really awesome. So, I'm pretty happy with it. Go support us, buy some stuff. If you buy some stuff and take a photo of yourself with the goods, I'll give you something awesome. I don't know.
I'll buy you a really terrible beer. Cheapest beer I can.
A really horrible beer and send it in the mail and they can... warm beer.
Pour it into the packet?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's get to last week's poll. So what did we ask?
What would you prefer? What would you specifically prefer? Everyone. What would you prefer? A video game gets delayed 6 months for further polishing, or a game gets released on time, but potentially with bugs?
So I think me personally, it can be delayed a year. I really don't care. As long as I get it and it's playable, it doesn't have any bugs, that sort of thing, I'm happy.
I pondered about this for a long time. And specifically because of PUBG, and I made that argument last time that you can still play a game that's fun, that's buggy as hell.
Yeah.
But in saying that, long story short, I'm with you. I want it to be delayed for as long as it can be, so as it's perfect when you get it.
Absolutely.
So to the Twitter results as well, 83% said delay the game. So that's a pretty big chunk, and
it's a huge chunk.
17% said I want it now. So
I want it now.
Majority. Delay it.
Yeah. So I think most people agree with that. We have actually a few comments as well that people left. So again, thank you to all those people. You're being featured right now.
Yeah, that's awesome. There was heaps on YouTube actually. It was
yeah. So we actually got one on Facebook from Hope Corrigan. She's a gamer. She writes for IGN.
That's right.
Does a lot of Twitch stuff like that. So go follow her.
Writing lots of
the Far Cry
wiki page. For
Far Cry 5. Yeah,
so,
the IGN wiki page.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, so she's go follow her. Type her name in, or you'll see it now. She says delays are never a bad thing, in my opinion. IMO. Be patient and get the game the way it should be, made by people who weren't pushed to their limits in crunch. Let the devs go home at a reasonable hour to their families, and I'll happily wait an extra year for your game to come out.
Which is actually a really good point, because that's probably something that's never spoken about, especially from small developers. They're on, ridiculous time constraints. They're putting in tons of hours.
I would say that's 80% why games come out buggy.
Yeah, because they can't meet the deadline and they have to release it. Or they've been pushing it back so far. I mean, we take the mickey out of something like Red Dead Redemption because that's been delayed so many times. But hopefully in the end we get a game that's perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, and I think, like Hope said, most of us prefer to wait. Without the game devs doing a good job, we're never going to play a good game ever again.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's actually a pretty amazing response.
Yeah, it was a really thought out response. It wasn't just like, I want the game for X reason.
Don't make fun of the people that comment like that.
No, no one actually commented like that. There was actually legitimate responses to why they wanted the game or didn't want the game.
We do prefer a big detailed response. Yeah. Sean Sky says, good show. Thank you very much. I'd always rather wait another 6 months for a game to be polished. The No Man's Sky community is super excited about the next update. It is very likely it will feature proper multiplayer built on top of the basic multiplayer we have now. I personally think next is going to surprise a lot of people. So that was also in response to our No Man's Sky next topic from last week.
I think we both said that as well, was the fact that they kind of went dark and they've been building it from the ground up again ever since. So
yeah,
it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, so another amazing response from Sean Sky. Thank you for answering 2 of our questions.
Yes.
Then we got Cloudy95 again. He's becoming
Love you,
one of our best mates. Seriously, what a legend. I'd much rather wait those 6 months for the game. Game bugs can be really annoying at times. So so everyone pretty much agrees. He also says Lachy is way quieter than Victor. He suggests we work on the audio. Hopefully, we've fixed it a little bit. So basically, we use
the microphone a little bit.
We use the same microphones, and they go into one audio mixer. My voice is much louder and carries much further, so I've turned me down and Lachlan up a little bit. So hopefully it's level. We'll play with it a little bit more if it's not right.
Thank you for that, though. That helps.
Yes, absolutely. That sort of feedback we really, really, really appreciate. Then Alan Skate 3 again.
Yes.
Legend. I think I would like to wait 6 months instead of get a broken game, but like you said, a fun game like PUBG is still playable even though it is buggy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a complex question.
It's going to depend a lot on the game, but yeah, for the majority, as we've seen, they're going to want to wait.
Yeah, most people definitely want to wait, and that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. It means like we're becoming a patient. I think gamers are more patient than most people.
I think so.
Yeah.
Not me, but I think
no,
so.
I'm a patient gamer. I think most people are patient because they've got to wait for all these game lobbies and stuff. And finally, Cookies Kill Children. He
corrected us because he got his name right.
It is Cookies Kill Children. He's actually responding to the question he asked last week, which was about what he thinks of
the
AFL teams buying esport teams. So he says Adelaide Crows and Essendon each have teams. They pay for their gaming house, wages, etc. Not sure on clubs' kickbacks. OPL is an Australian league and is hosted in Sydney. The Bombers team also have access to the AFL training house and gym.
That's pretty cool.
Really cool. I don't know what if they would use it. I'm sure some of them would.
I follow a couple of people on Instagram who are professional gamers, and they actually go to the gym. So as when they're like playing their games for hours and hours and hours, so they're not sitting there sweating and dying and stuff like that. So I actually think a lot of pro gamers, especially Call of Duty gamers, are actually making.
It was probably in the talks, like, "Hey, you'll get the gym too." Deal.
Yeah, deal. Sure thing.
Yeah,
I'd be pretty happy chilling at a football.
Oh, hell yeah, especially if you actually go for that team.
That'd be awesome.
You just see a bunch of hot dudes with their hot missuses and everyone's just like, you're just like, so thank you very much to all those people. We actually didn't discuss a question of next week.
We'll think about it during the flow of the conversation.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. First thing we're going to talk about, which is actually a topic I'm very excited about, is God of War. Okay.
Why are you excited about it?
So basically all the reviews, reviews are now coming out, even though the game doesn't come out for another 7 days, for another week.
Yep.
All the reviews are coming out from the big sites, and the average Metacritic score is 94 out of 100.
That's pretty good.
That's really good. So that's actually better than Uncharted.
Yep.
And that's before a lot of review sites still haven't posted, but 94 out of the big review sites, an amazing score.
That's massive.
It's huge, and I'm looking forward to the game. I'm going to be playing it for the whole day. The next day I have a wedding.
It's so big that I've never really cared about God of War, even looked into it or anything like that. But the score is so good that I'm going to buy it.
Yeah,
I'll get it. Definitely.
It's going to be something that I think brings a lot of people into the game, and they'll be able to go back and play the original ones, which is a bit different. The combat's a bit more button mashing, but still an awesome story. And I think the God of War franchise has always had a pretty cool story.
I think it's got a pretty big following as well. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I love Kratos. Yeah. He's one of the figures of PlayStation. Who do you think of? You think of Spyro. You think of well, we used to think of Crash, not anymore. Now he's on Xbox. You think of Nathan Drake and Kratos. Yeah. There's some pretty big PlayStation people. So God of War 94 and the new PlayStation 4 Pro, which I'm getting next week as well, had a price drop in Australia for like $60. So that's pretty cool as well.
Yeah, that is. I can't remember who it was through, but yeah, that's pretty big.
Yeah. So we'll be doing an unboxing of that next week, or me probably. So stick around for that. That'll be pretty badass.
Do you know when you get it?
Yeah, Friday.
Ooh.
It'll be Friday in the morning. I'll have to unbox it because I'm going to the city that night. I'm staying in a hotel. So I'll do an unboxing. The solo unboxing videos always do pretty well. They always flow really well. I prefer doing with another person, but the solo ones always actually turn out pretty well.
They can hold something for you.
Yeah.
Do you come with the box?
Oh, you. So, yeah, God of War, man, kicking ass. And just again, PlayStation, just smashing it. Absolutely smashing it.
Xbox is doing nothing.
Yeah, they're not doing much.
Except if you want some free games for the next couple of days, get an Xbox. But that wouldn't be free because you'd be buying an Xbox.
They've got good.
They generally have very good free games on a monthly basis. So
and they're what's their? Is it the Game Pass? What is it?
Gold?
No, the other thing. It's like I forget. It's escaping my mind. You can pay a subscription $14 a month, and you get a bunch of other free.
You
games.
get a bunch of other games that you get to choose from.
So that's really cool. I like that.
They have,
what are the free games?
The free game was Super Hot, which is a game you've played. I think you actually played it on VR.
So we played it on VR on the PlayStation. Me and Jeff.
That's only available for the next 2 days, but upcoming there's going to be Halo 5 Guardians because the Halo Championship's coming up in a couple of weeks' time.
Yep.
And Skyrim is going to be
special
free.
edition
the
as well.
Special edition, yeah.
Is it just for the weekend though, or is it probably?
The way the article was written, it sounded like it was just for the weekend.
Yeah, which is always okay.
They're pretty big games to have free for an entire month.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I did have a look anyway. So like you'll have the Witness coming up and Assassin's Creed Syndicate. So that will be for the month of like half April to half May, basically. So still some pretty good games there as well.
Okay.
And then there's always games on 360 as well. So like Cars 2 and Dead Space 2.
Yeah. Dead Space 2, awesome game. I actually love the Dead Space franchise. I'm waiting for another one. I'm waiting for another one. Yeah. I would play the hell out of that right now if it was released, another one. I wonder if these free games for a weekend, because that always happens. Like you can play this game for a weekend.
Yeah.
I wonder if that ever encourages many people to
go and buy it.
Yeah.
It'd be a curious like statistic.
That's the question of the week.
That is the question. If you played a free game, would you then go and buy it?
Yeah. Okay, so the question of the week is,
there we go.
When there's been a free game playable for the weekend
on a marketplace, so even like the PSN or Xbox,
PlayStation, Xbox, Steam,
yeah.
Has that encouraged you to go buy the game? Has that made you actually want to purchase the game? I'm sure even if it made like 10% of the people, or even 2% of the people that did it,
that's so
buy
many
the game.
People, yeah.
That's still a lot of people. So
and it's boosting sales from old games as well. So I mean, Halo 5 Guardians came out years ago. Like you have a free weekend, and then you might see Microsoft, boosting sales in the next month or something like that.
It also makes people jump back into the multiplayer, and people could easily beat the Halo 5 story in 1 day, 2 days.
I think it takes 7 hours.
Yeah, so
like
easy. So yeah, that's the question. Ask us on. We'll run a poll, an actual poll on Twitter.
That one's going to be an easy one to run anyway.
Yeah, on Twitter, and then feel free to answer the question on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, anything, Instagram.
Instagram, we'll put it on Instagram as well. Yeah.
So that's a pretty cool question. I like that.
That's good. Happy with that.
Yeah, happy with that.
That happened last time as well.
We've got to start thinking of these questions of the week before we actually go live, I think.
Yeah,
but,
probably a better idea.
Yeah, absolutely. But speaking of kicking ass, PlayStation 4, now, obviously we knew this game was coming out, but Spider-Man, more gameplay is coming out, more collector's editions are coming out. The game looks absolutely incredible. PlayStation exclusive.
PlayStation.
Would you buy? Is that a game you would buy? This is a personal thing, just out of curiosity. Like, do you like Spider-Man at all? Or?
I would not buy it for a day one release. I'd probably wait until the price dropped and then I'd go and buy it. It's not something I'm going to go and stand out the front of EB for or something like that, or I'm going to purchase it that night to download or something. What
was the last game you waited for at a midnight launch?
Probably Halo 5 Guardians.
God, I don't remember mine. I used to do it when I lived in Frankston. I used to do it all the time.
You know what? Actually, I think it was Watch Dogs. The second Watch Dogs.
Number 2.
But I think what had actually happened was I was coming home from the city and I was essentially passing an EB and I just stopped in and bought it and then played it for that night. But actually genuinely rocked up and waited. Halo. Yeah.
Did they still do midnight launches?
I think it's selected to a few places. It depends on the pre-order number. And I think it depends, like you'll get a text message saying your game's coming out. If you reply to this and if we get enough traffic, then
I'll do it. Right.
It used to be all EBs, so like, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the Halo games,
I
think Assassin's Creed.
The last one I went to was Mass Effect 3. I remember
3,
now. So.
But now, I haven't really heard about it.
That could be another question.
Next week's question.
Yeah, answer 2 weeks in advance. No, also, just this isn't the question of the week, but have you ever gone to a midnight launch? And they usually do pretty cool like events there, but I've never been to one with events. The only ones I've been to have been completely dead.
Just super nerdy or dead?
No, dead. Like 2 people.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I went to a Call of Duty one, and all of the people, like all of the people working there, were dressed up as like soldiers and stuff like that. They had like the army mesh everywhere. Like it was pretty cool. They actually go into a lot of effort.
Yeah, EB Games has to be one of the hardest places to get a job at. Like, because I always look out of curiosity.
Yeah.
They're all like 1 or 2 jobs, and they're all like
It's always casual or part time as well.
or
I'm
like
pretty sure.
a high up position that you'll never get. So.
You either become a manager or you work part time, and then after that's during the
a
Christmas
few years,
period,
you
and
might
then
get a proper
out,
job,
basically, yeah.
or get a proper job after a few years of effort.
Yeah, they are difficult.
So Spider-Man apparently like sold out the Amazing Edition, like the special one or whatever it is. It could be the Amazing Edition, I don't know. It's sold out heaps. It looks awesome. I'd be keen to get it maybe if they release a slightly smaller one.
So, would you just get the game?
Yeah, I'll get the game for sure.
Yeah.
I love any Sony game that's Sony exclusive. I'll get even Xbox exclusives I usually get, but it's right up my alley.
Yeah.
You know, it'll be on par review scores with God of War 4 for sure.
What's the last Spider-Man game you played? Because I'm pretty sure you played one on VR, I think. At some stage.
No, that was the Spider-Man Homecoming like VR game. It was like literally like a 5-minute demo.
Oh, so it wasn't actually.
It wasn't a full game. Yeah, that was just. I can actually tell you what the last one is. Let me bring up my personal Instagram. That was just like a little like advertisement for
that game.
For Homecoming.
Oh, for Homecoming. Yeah. Oh, so it was for the movie, not a game or anything like that.
It was just for the movie. Yeah, but it was a little demo of a game that you could play. It doesn't have the name there. I thought it would.
It just got a picture of it.
It's the last Spider-Man it was on the Xbox One. Yeah, and I got the 100% in it. It took ages. God. But I got the 100% in it, and it was actually super fun. It was a bit glitchy, but it was actually really, really good.
I can't 100% games anymore.
No, it just depends.
The time,
just depends if you play the whole game, right, and then you got 70%. And it's just a little bit extra time to grind. I'd generally do it.
The worst though is when it's games that have a ton of multiplayer. So you finish the campaign in its hardest difficulty, you do everything through the campaign, and it's still only like 50-60% of your achievements or trophies, and then the rest is online multiplayer, and like it's just so hard to do.
Absolutely, and then it's the worst when like those servers shut down and they become impossible. I remember once, God, where was I? I could have been living with you, actually. I think it was before, actually. No, yeah. It was many, many years before. NBA Live 2007. There was 10 or 11 achievements.
Yep.
And I had 10 of them. The last achievement was to have 1,000 players online at once. So you just had to be online with another 999 people. The game servers were going to close in a week. They're like, we're closing down the servers. No one plays this game anymore. So everybody that didn't have the achievement organized the time, and we all jumped on at that time and got it.
That's
and actually,
so good.
Jeff Ramsey from Rooster Teeth was one of those dudes.
Really?
So, yeah, it made me feel like we have a special
That's
bond.
insane.
Yeah, so that was really good. And they had tried it before, and it was a failure. Not enough people showed up. So, yeah, I ended up with all the achievements in that game.
I think a similar thing happened with Halo 2, where they were closing down the servers of that. But if they had people playing it, then they wouldn't close it down.
Yeah.
So essentially, this one guy just put himself into a lobby and just never turned his console
there was
off.
like a few people playing like for as long as they could, and slowly they
could
dwindled down.
It off.
But then,
obviously it's going to happen anyway. You
he's still going.
Doing that.
He's still
10 years later, it's still going.
He died.
Oh no.
So yeah, that was cool. I think I play more PlayStation now, as I've mentioned.
Yeah.
But because we record a lot of unclenched videos and we do like a game, we'll play it once or twice. I have so many games on my PlayStation that are like barely like 1 or 2% complete. Whereas on the Xbox One, I think I had with like 100% of games or something like that. I had 115,000 gamer score, and I don't play my Xbox anymore, and like all my friends have just kept going.
skyrocketed. Yeah, because I remember when you and I were living together, it was on 50 or 70,000
Yeah,
score, and you were like peaking compared to everyone else.
I was going nuts. Yeah. And
That
you actually
was
helped
years
me
ago as well.
play. You actually helped me 100% a game.
That was a racing game. Actually,
I couldn't do it, and I let you do it. And it took you like 5 or 6 times
About
to
that,
do it, which is about as many times I tried it. And you hadn't played the game; you're just really good at car racing games, so you understand the mechanics more. And you ended up getting it for me. Yeah, don't tell anyone.
No, we won't say what the game name is.
What was it?
I can't actually remember.
It was a racing
It wasn't
game.
a Need for Speed game. I know that for sure.
It was
Wasn't like Gotham or something like that, was it?
No. I don't know.
Who knows?
I don't know.
It was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. What, 6 years ago? 5 years ago?
Yeah, that's about when we were living together.
Yeah. That's not that long.
Still
Yeah.
fair chunk.
Yeah. So, I mean, I go through phases where I go for the trophies and achievements in games, and like you'll see, I'll have like 6 completed 100% games in a row, and then when I give up, it's like 2%, 50%, 20%, and I'm like, especially now that I'm so far behind because of all these games we played twice. Yeah.
I think for me, I'll have like 7, 10 games that are all like 80%, and then you'll have another 10 games that are just. There's like one achievement and that's it. Because I've just obviously put the game in, played it for 10 minutes and gone, I hate this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just get rid of it straight away.
Yeah, I remember on the PlayStation, again, now that I'm playing PlayStation, when I used to have the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360, my PlayStation 3 never got used. So occasionally I would buy a game on the PlayStation 3 just to play. So I got Assassin's Creed 2 on there and had 90% of the trophies. And then I ended up getting it on the Xbox 360 a few years later and 100%ed it. And now that I'm back on the PlayStation, I look at it and it's like I don't have a save file for it or anything. So I can't get them, and they're really easy trophies too. So it sort of kills me. Yeah. All right, let's talk about some more news. That was actually a good conversation. Do you guys collect any trophies or anything? Let us know in the comments below. Trophies, achievements, Steam achievements. What do you prefer? So also one of the awesome things that came out this week was Sam Fisher.
Oh, in
Ghost Recon Wildlands.
That's right, yeah.
Actually, speaking of 100%, I 100%ed Ghost Recon Wildlands.
Took you ages.
That took me ages. Not the DLC, but the core game I got all the trophies in, so I got the Platinum trophy. Took me ages.
I remember coming here like just all the time to do recording and stuff like that, and you were just sitting here playing Ghost Recon. And I'm like, are we going to start recording yet? And you're like, hold on, I got to get this achievement. I'm just sitting here. I'm like, okay.
It was honestly, from the start of it to the end of it, had a blast playing it. Yeah. Even doing the boring crap, I still had a good time. That's a game I'll happily go back and play anytime. But the first bit of DLC was garbage.
Didn't we play multiplayer? The DLC of it? Or?
Yeah, no, not that. That was cool, but that was like a beta PvP.
So it was still a little bit glitchy anyway.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, it was still all right. But the first story DLC was so garbage that I had never played another DLC.
Oh god,
that would have turned off so many people.
Wait, was that the one where they put in like trucks with NOS and stuff like that?
Yes.
Who does that?
It was so stupid.
Mixed with like Ghost Recon.
It was so stupid. I hated it.
That's right.
And I played it for about 6 hours and I was like, nah, I'm not doing this.
I remember you showing me all the things that you could do that they've added. I'm like, what have they done?
So stupid. And some of the other DLCs looked awesome, but I'll never play them anyway. So this Sam Fisher, so basically what you do is a bit of a spoiler, but he's a mission now. So he gets added as a mission. You got to stealth into a base, and then if you stealth him without killing anybody, he'll be there. But if you kill somebody to get there, he won't be there. There's a lot of speculation saying they've put him in a game. Are they going to announce a Splinter Cell at E3?
That would be Xbox exclusive. Oh, actually, it's across all consoles, isn't it? Is it?
Yeah, it usually is.
Yeah.
What was the last one? It was Blacklist.
Yes.
It was Splinter Cell Blacklist.
Ages ago.
That was a while ago. That would have been like 4 years ago, maybe. My best guess. I've actually got a figure up there, see?
Oh, yeah. He's chilling up there.
Yeah, he's actually really cool. He's a cool little figure. I love Splinter Cell games.
Yeah, we had this discussion before as well. I was like, have you actually played a Splinter Cell game? I said to you, I played the first one, and I don't know, for people who actually watch Unclenched, I have very little patience for games where I have to sneak around and stealth and stuff like that. So I think I played the first 5 missions or something like that and gave up. Third one, though, I loved. because it was a little less stealthy. You got assault rifles and
Yeah,
things
it's
like
a bit
that.
more
You just didn't have a
go,
pistol
go.
and have to use like sound devices to distract people and stuff like that. But I do love the game.
Look, it goes to say, like, goes to show, rather, when we're here playing Hitman 2, so we're doing a new series called every month. It's a new theme. So the month of April is Assassin month.
Yep.
And so we played Hitman 2, which is really hilarious. Go watch that
It
video.
is. It's a hilarious game.
It's a hilarious video.
It's funnier than the newest Hitman that's
yes.
been released however long ago.
Yeah. So, we're not stealthing to it. We tried a little bit, but it didn't really work.
Yeah.
But that's when we're together. When I'm alone, I'd 100% go stealth. But I really hope there's going to be a Splinter Cell game. I've played pretty much all of them.
If there is, I will probably play this one, and I will finish this one. Because I think I have a little bit more patience now than I used to.
Did I finish Blacklist? I'll have to go check. I don't think I did. I did. I definitely did.
He was really old in that one, wasn't he? Sam
Fisher. Yeah. Really old. My favorite Splinter Cell game was Double Agent. I think it's called Double Agent. It was really cool because you'd be in like the enemy base, and you'd have to like do little side missions without getting caught. It was really awesome. If they did a remaster of that, I'd be all over it.
Would you lose the plot?
I would.
Scream like a little girl.
I'd be like Ned Flanders when curtains get ruined or whatever.
I'm not going to try and do the voice.
Oh no, what is it? Not his curtain, his plant.
His plant, yeah.
All right, just quickly, this episode is sponsored by getgaming.net.au. So basically, they've revamped their whole website.
It looks so much better.
It looks
fantastic.
Awesome. It looks like a AAA $1 million website now. So what they do is they sell a lot of games. They sell consoles. They sell old games.
They do sell old games, yeah,
which is really cool.
So like 360, and then even like Nintendo games and stuff.
Yeah,
as well,
yeah. So if you're after trophies or achievements and you want an old game, absolutely.
Yep.
And the best thing about them is if you purchase something, you get a certain amount of points for that, and then obviously you can save those points to use for further discounts later on. So that's getgaming.net.au. Thank you to them. They're our favourite people in the world. All right. Last bit of news that we have to talk about is your standard sort of updates.
Standard updates across the board. Quick one. Rocket League had a 4 gig update 2 days ago. Just the standard bug fixes and stuff like that. I guess the only reason I noticed is because I've been playing it a lot. I don't really notice anything changed. It was just really small things, so I'm not really going to talk about it. PUBG obviously has been updated. I was talking to you about this before. They cannot get the vehicle damage correct.
Yeah.
When you hit stuff randomly, like trees or rocks or whatever, that kind of just goes a bit weird. But when you're trying to run over someone else, so months ago, if you hit someone with a car, regardless of pretty much what speed you were going, they would die instantly. Then they updated it. You hit someone with a car, and they would just fly across the map.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of those.
Yeah, there's a lot of parody videos and stuff like that happening. And they didn't die. And then not long ago, it really depended on the speed of if you'd kill someone or if they wouldn't die or whatever. The update that's just come out, I ran over someone the other day, and they died instantly. And I was like, all right, this is good. Did it again, like the game after that, and they didn't die with the same speed.
So it's super inconsistent.
Just doing my head in.
Yeah, it's very inconsistent.
So driving. Because sometimes you want to be in the car just to try and get out of there, and you do want to run over someone, but you're like, well, I don't know if I'm going to kill them. I don't know if I should do this.
Yeah.
Also, they can't get stairs right. I don't know what's wrong with the game.
This is on the Xbox One, by the way.
Xbox One. Yeah. They cannot get stairs right. They're like, yep, we fixed all the floating stairs and the disappearing stairs and stuff like that. Walking upstairs the other day, and I just fell through it, and my guy was just falling, and I couldn't do it. I had to turn the game off and start again.
Were you in the same game, or?
No. Okay. And it was like, you've been kicked from the game, or would you like to continue in this game? And I was like, well, if I press A to go
it's a waste of time.
I'm just going to be chilling in the stairs.
Yeah,
again.
Absolutely. On the PC, they had an update. They updated the desert map, and they added more locations. Like in the north area is a bit plain up there, so they've added more. They've also changed the blue zone, so now the blue zone does more damage to you, which is whatever. Yeah. But I think it also is slower to close in, which is sort of the best of both worlds.
Yeah. Even like here one, it's basically like fixed issue of excessive acceleration when the stick is tilted more than a certain angle depending on the R-stick acceleration setting. I think that's what's caused the problem again, was the fact that they've adjusted the car settings again. I mean, look, it's going to take time, but as we said last time, you're spending $40. There's millions of players. You've got the money.
Yeah.
It should probably
Just
be fixed by now.
fix it quicker.
Yeah.
All right. That was another episode of Maximum Loot. Episode 4, man. We're doing pretty good. Thank you all for the support, all the comments, all the feedback. Make sure you answer our question of the week, which is, what was it again?
Well, this is what happens when you don't think of the question every time. It's like, what was it again? And I'm just basically delaying it because I cannot remember.
I'm actually really tired for some reason. The question of the week. Oh my god.
Let me just talk about PUBG again.
What were we talking about? We talked about God of War scores.
Yep.
Oh, I know. When there has been a free game that has been on offer for a free play weekend, so you can download the game for the weekend, has that made you want to buy the game after you've played it? Or do you even, this is just another little bit of a question.
I can't believe that.
Or do you even play those free games knowing that they're not going to be free for much longer? Let us know.
That's the other thing, actually. Do a lot of people actually download them and play them?
Okay. Well, I'll figure out the proper question. Yeah. Answer both those questions, but on the Twitter poll, it's going to be ask us Unclenched Team on Twitter. Go follow us on Instagram. It is _unclenched. Whatever. Yep. I'm sick of plugging. Give us a subscribe. Give us a like. Just say hi. Thank you again to Get Gaming for sponsoring this episode, and we'll see you next week.
Peace.
See ya.
I'm coming home.